All right, so graphene. I mean, everybody's talking about how it could like completely change everything.
Yeah,
But
sure.
there's this company, Premier Graphene, that's doing some pretty wild stuff in Mexico. Like we're talking working with the Mexican Army, security forces, A&D. They're involved with all this sustainable hemp stuff.
Interesting.
So today we're going to, really dig into what Premier Graphene is doing down there and why it matters to you.
Yeah, what's got me really curious is this presentation that Premier Graphene and their affiliate in Mexico, it's called HGI Industrial Technologies, are putting on for the Mexican military and security forces. It sounds like they're going after some really big contracts.
Absolutely, the stakes are high.
Hmm.
And they've brought in all these other companies to work with them on this, which is not something you see every day.
Yeah, no kidding. So you got Santa Rosa Green Seeds, who are all about growing industrial hemp. In Mexico, they're even bringing in like special hemp seeds from somewhere else.
And then there's Isotech. They're providing like 5,000 hectares of land in Sonora, Mexico. And apparently, this land is full of graphite,
Which, of course.
which is like the main ingredient for graphene.
Exactly, yeah. It's crucial.
It's essential.
Yeah.
And they're also testing for boron and nickel on that land, too, which adds a whole other layer to this.
Yeah, that's really fascinating because, having boron and nickel there could mean that they can make even more advanced types of graphene. Like, for instance, boron can make graphene conduct electricity even better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And nickel, it helps with certain chemical reactions, so it could be important for making graphene in a better, more efficient way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's not just about making a lot of graphene, it's about making the right kind of graphene.
I see. So it's about quality as well as quantity.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so we've also got NBA in the mix, which they specialize in protective gear, right?
Right, yeah. So we're talking about things like really advanced body armor, maybe even using graphene in it.
Okay, but how realistic is that actually? I mean, putting graphene into something like body armor seems like it would be super complicated.
Oh, for sure. It's a huge challenge. One of the biggest things is being able to make enough graphene at the right quality to actually make a lot of those vests. That's incredibly hard to do right now. And then there's the problem of like weaving the graphene into the material of the vest without making it stiff and uncomfortable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe a more realistic use for graphene right now is in construction. Premier Graphene is saying that they can make concrete 32% stronger using their graphene mix, and they have independent tests that prove it.
Right. And that's a huge improvement. Think about it. You could build buildings, bridges, everything lighter and stronger. You could even make buildings that can better withstand earthquakes.
Wow.
Yeah, it could be a game changer, especially in like developing countries or areas where earthquakes are a big risk.
That's amazing. But can they really become like a big player in the whole graphene industry?
Well, their goal is to pretty much dominate graphene production in the Western Hemisphere. And with Isotech saying they could become one of the biggest producers of graphite and graphene in the Western Hemisphere, it seems like they're really serious.
And they do already have contracts with Defense Atomics, which is a pretty big deal.
For sure. That gives them some street cred.
Yeah. But this whole hemp thing, that's what I really want to understand. Why hemp? Is it really that innovative, or is it just clever marketing?
Well, the interesting thing about hemp is that its fibers have this stuff called cellulose in them, which you can actually break down and turn into graphene.
Hmm.
Yeah. And hemp is a renewable resource, so it's better for the environment, right?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And they're working with this company, Santa Rosa Green Seeds, to really explore this whole hemp thing.
Right.
And on top of that, they're planning to test out different types of hemp with this Mexican agricultural research group called INAFAP. So it seems like they're really trying to do this the right way scientifically.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. And they're working with Maria Remedio's company and the University of Guadalajara to try to make biodegradable plastics from hemp-derived graphene. If they can actually do that, it could be a really big deal for the packaging and plastics industry in general.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So you've got Premier Graphene building this whole network of partners, getting the resources they need, and developing some really groundbreaking tech. It's a pretty amazing story unfolding down in Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it brings up a big question for you. With all this happening and with all the potential that graphene has, what industries do you think will be most affected in the next few years? What will a world powered by graphene actually look like? That's something to think about.
Food for thought.
Definitely.
That's it for this deep dive. See you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.